This video introduces the item sorting system in CoreKeeper, explains the problem with the conventional system, and shows the new sorting system that solves the problem. First, there are two main types of sorting systems reported. The first is a sorting system that stores only specific item in a chest. The second is a system that extracts only specific item and carries them to the next process. For the second item extraction, there was the problem that the circuit would shift and throw the wrong thing when logging off the game if the timing was bad. This video introduces the novel item sorting system that does not collapse even when logging off. Let me briefly explain the item sorting. The first item sorting is a system that has been available since the beginning, and many people are thought to be using it. This is it. The chest is filled with only wood, so when wood is carried by an arm, it goes straight into the chest. However, if any other item is carried, it overflows from the chest. Therefore, the overflowing items are carried to the next process by a drill. In this case, you cannot take out the entered item, and for example, you could not use them for cooking. After improvement of the pedestal by updates, therefore some item sorting systems that can extract items have been developed. This is one of the most famous item sorting systems. The upper left of the chest is filled with a specific item, and the other spaces are filled with items never used, so that anything other overflows from the chest. The overflows items are taken out by a drill and carried to the next process. On the other hand, the specific item is taken out by an arm and placed on this pedestal. However, since the pedestal can only hold one item, one of the stacked items overflows from the pedestal. Then you can take out only that item by a drill. The item on the pedestal is returned to the chest by another arm, and the same cycle is repeated. This looks like it works normally at first glance, but sometimes it malfunctions and requires manual repair. The reason why this problem occurs is that the arm repeats two actions: take out an item and turn around, and put on an item and turn around. And sometimes this cycle reverses when logging off or moving away from the machine. Something else which should overflows can enter the chest at that timing. To solve this problem, some trials have been considered, but until now there have been no solutions for several months. In this video, I will introduce a new item sorting system that solves this problem. Unlike the previous system, these arms always keep supplying the item from the desk to the chest. Therefore, even if the arm cycle shifts by chance, there are always multiple items you want to take out in the chest. So there is no chance of the wrong item entering the chest. For example, if you put wood here, it will be carried to the desk like this, and the newly added part will overflow from the desk and be carried to the next step. If you put something else, like slime, it will not enter the chest and will be carried to another process. This is an overview of how it works, and I will explain how to make it next. The key to this system is that the three arms on the right keep moving, and the arm and drill on the left move in a specific order by a delay circuit. First, use an on-off-off-off circuit for the power supply so that current flows only once every 4 seconds. This current first moves the arm on the left, then moves the drill for the chest, and then moves the drill and arm for the desk 1 second apart. Therefore, the item dropped by the first arm is always collected by the drill if it is not in the chest, and only the specific item are moved to the desk, and at the same time the overflowing part is collected by a drill. Some circuits are hard to see, so please refer to the same circuit on the right. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for attention.